Okay, everybody, this is Chapter 2, Section 10. This is the last section for Chapter 2. We're looking at how percentages change, and percentages change two different ways. They either increase or they decrease, okay? So it's either up or down. And that's just kind of important for, once again, kind of everyday life, looking at how much something might increase in price and what percentage of the regular price was it, or the normal price or starting price, however you want to name it. And then the same thing too, stuff goes on sale, how much did it decrease, and how much did it decrease of the regular or normal or starting price, okay? Sometimes you look at, oh, I'm getting a discount of, how many dollars or whatever, but a percentage of the regular price doesn't, if the percentage isn't very big, then it's really not that great of a deal. It's when the percentage kind of goes up, it's a great deal to buy it if it's on sale, or if you're looking at stuff that goes up, like, food prices go up because of different things. Like a drought would affect food prices because some of the crop doesn't survive or whatever, so the price of the food is going to go up, like, let's say, lettuce. So something like lettuce prices are going to go up because there was a drought and not enough lettuce actually grew or made it, okay? So that's just kind of stuff you'd use it for. So if we go ahead and just write down the percent change, and I'll put the definition up. And once you do this, I'll just do it all together. Once I pull it all up, you can hit pause and write it all down. I'm going to go kind of quick through this again. So hit pause if you're getting behind, and then hit play once you get caught up, okay? So you got three things. A percent change is just how does something change in the original amount, or compared to the original amount, how much did it change as a percentage, okay? If I look at rainfall, let's say, last year, let's say it rained 16 inches. This year it rains 10. I know that it went down 6 inches of rain, but what was the percentage of the rainfall from last year compared to this year? And that's what a lot of people like to look at, as more of a percent, okay? Increase, like I said, increase means that I'm looking at a percent of how much the new amount is compared to the original amount. And then decrease, like I said earlier, is looking as a percentage how something went down from the original amount, okay? All right. We're going to use this little formula for it. So you got to kind of know this. This one can get a little bit tricky for you. So you just got to, you're going to have to do a little bit of work just to get to this and then be able to do your math, right? So the percent of change is the amount of change over the original amount. So I'm just going to write this down off to the side if you could add this to it. And then I have to times it by 100. And really, I'm going to move the decimal 2 places to the right. Okay, you can multiply it by 100 if you want. It's doing the same thing, and especially you're probably going to need your calculator for this. So you can just multipy it by 100 in your calculator since you're already there. Or you can move 2 places to the right, okay? And to get the amount of change, I'm going to take the greater amount, and we'll get to this. We'll get to this in a little bit. We're going to take the greater amount. So when something changes, I have a different number compared to where I started. So I'm going to take the greater amount and subtract the lesser amount from that, and that gets me the change, okay? So I'll always get a positive number when I do this too. Do it that way, okay? All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead, and we have this coat. It's on sale. Its regular price is $82, and it's on sale for $74.50. But what's the percent change? Okay, well, this is a two-part question or answer too. I want to know first, is it an increase or is it a decrease? And that's just simply looking at the amounts. Well, it started at 82, it went to this, that's less, so this is going to be a decrease. So that's part of your answer right off the bat. Pretty easy to do. I'm just looking at stuff. But then to start my formula, I'm going to take the original amount, because it's the greatest. I'm going to subtract $74.50 because it's the biggest, and I'm going to go ahead and subtract those and get a number that's going to help me start my formula. And I think I get $7.50, but I'm double checking it. Hold on. So when I subtract that, I get $7.50, okay? But I'm not done because that's not a percent, it's just an amount that it's off. So I have to take the amount of change away. I have to take the amount of change and I have to go ahead and put it over the original amount. And then I'm going to go ahead, and that's a division problem, okay? So remember, when I have a fraction, it's a division problem. You know, we got to be careful here too. You know, we're not, when we were younger, we always thought we had to divide the bigger number by the smaller number. That's how kind of you learn how to do division. Well, now we're kind of grown up. You got to remember to put this into your calculator first, hit the division sign, and then put this number in second, okay? And you'll typically get a decimal answer when you do that. Okay? I got 0.09 and 1. I'm just going to use that as a rounding because I'm going to move the decimal to the right, or you guys will multiply it by 100, and I will get this, okay? And that becomes my percent, okay? And then typically, we want just like a whole number percentage, so no decimals in this case, so I'm just going to make it 9%. So that code is 9% off its regular price. To me, that's not a great deal. I need and $74 for a jacket, unless it's something really special like a ski jacket where I'm really going to use it and need protection, you know, whatever. I might spend that much, but if it's just a jacket I'm going to wear like to work or around the house or something like that, I'm not spending that much money. That's just me. Okay? All right, here we go. Next question. I got a store that buys an electric guitar for $295, and then the store's going to mark up the price to $340. And what's the markup expressed as a percent change? Okay? So, you know, let's say I own this guitar store. Well, I own the store, but I don't make the guitars, so I have to go to somebody that actually makes them. Or maybe I bought it used from somebody. They came into my store and said, hey, I got this guitar, I don't want it anymore. How much will you give me for it? It must have been in good condition. I gave him $295. But I got to eat, and I got to pay for the bills in the store, the electricity and whatever. So I have to mark it up to sell it, and I need to use that markup to do what I need to do. Okay, but first off, remember, there's two answers to this question. Is that an increase or a decrease? And it's just simply looking at the prices. The price went up, so this part of my answer, this is an increase. Okay, I'm going to take the greater amount, 340, and subtract the lesser amount, 295, and that's going to get me a $45 difference in price. Okay, so I take the difference in price in the original amount and the new amount. I'm going to divide it by the original amount. Remember, I started this off at buying it for $295, and I'm going to go ahead and divide that. So remember, that's first, that's second, this third, into your calculator. And I got 0.152. Move the decimal place 2 places, or just multiply it by 100 in your calculator since you're probably already there. I get 15.2%. And I typically want to make this into a whole number, so it would be 15%. Rounding rules made me go to 15%, not up. Okay? So some steps here that you got to make sure that we're understanding a process here. Okay, and a lot of you guys go, oh, you know, when are we ever going to use this in real life? I think that you would if you're looking for something specific, but remember, what we're trying to do in math is teach you processes and learn how that there's a process to get from beginning to end. And I don't want to make it sound too simple, but you know, if you want to go work at In-N-Out Burger, you want to make the burgers, there's a process to make the burgers, and if you don't do it right, people are going to get upset and you might not have a job. So if you don't learn the process and you don't stick with the steps to make that perfect burger, you might not be working at In-N-Out. Okay, so we have to learn processes, and you know, this is stuff that you can use in real life. And some of you guys might go to college and you'd use it for different classes. I used something like this in a sociology class that I had to take in college. Okay, so you know, it's math and processes used in a lot of different ways. Okay, all right, I'll shut up. A hybrid car costs $21,500 in 2008 when they were first kind of coming out. But as things kind of changed and parts got easier and they understood how to make the car more efficient, the price actually dropped to that much. Okay, and maybe people weren't buying hybrid cars that much, so maybe they felt like if they dropped the price, people would buy them. I don't know. But I look at the prices. Remember, once again, I got part of my answer. Is it an increase or is it a decrease? And the price went down, so I believe that's a decrease. Okay, I'm going to take the two amounts, $21,500 and $19,780, and I want to subtract those. Okay, I want to get the change from the original to the new amount, and that gets me $1,720. Okay, so that's the difference in the amount. So I'm going to take that now, and I'm going to go ahead and divide it by where I started. Started with prices in 2008 being that. Okay, and remember how to put this into your calculator and get a decimal for it. I get 0.08. In your calculator, then you can multiply that by 100, or you could just go ahead and move that over to the right two places, and I get an actual whole number percent. So I'm done. Okay. So just the process, and we just got to get that down. Okay. So make sure you're taking good notes. Make sure too that you're asking for help. Please. And highlight the stuff as you go back over it. Please go back over it. Don't just let it go sit in your binder somewhere. You got to look at it. There's a couple things you really got to know. All right. Have a good one.